Oh, here we go again. Oh, how did the goalie get that?
I got it. Goal. What, Matt? What? Wish I could play real soccer. This is epic soccer time. This is epic soccer time. We do it big. Do it big, son. The earliest forms of modern-day soccer formed in the mid-1800s in Great Britain. And at the time, there were not a lot of rules, so many people were getting injured and some even killed. So in 1863 in Great Britain, rules were set in place for the fairly new sport, and by 1972 the first international games were played. And from there, things took off. The first game was between Sweden and Great Britain, and soccer kind of just started to take place from there.
Professor KFW, can you tell me more about the origins of soccer?
Well, modernist soccer has evolved from a game in the 2nd century BC China. Hold on, fact check. Ah, yes. Cuju, the first known form, had the goal of getting a leather ball through the silk hole. Cuju was also the first known game to involve a feet and a ball. Soccer was even used to trade soldiers at one point in time.
Perhaps you can inform me how the origins of soccer happened in England.
The first recorded games took place in 217 AD in the town of Derby, England. Soon, England began to have an annual soccer game called the Shrove Tuesday in 1175. It's commonly called Pancake Day, because in addition to the soccer game, citizens participate in festivities involving pancakes, including the pancake race. This still goes on today. In 1969, the Honduran and Salvadoran governments weren't very friendly with each other. Actually, on June 27th, there was a soccer game, and during that game, violence between them became very bad. Deaths and many injuries occurred, and in July 14th, military action took course. This military action was not good for either side, and a ceasefire was proposed on July 18th, but did not take effect until July 20th. During this short amount of time, both sides had lost many troops, much money, and gained zero national pride.
Hello, Dr. Nickerson. My name is Professor Chow. So, how did soccer affect the Spanish Civil War?
Well, you see, in 1938, during the Spanish Civil War, a general took over most of Spain, including Catalina, and General Franco was an avid supporter of Real Madrid, and only Catalonia's voice could be heard in opinions at soccer matches. So, they wanted Barca to win against Franco's team. This is the only way to express critical views through soccer. It is shown that countries with economic growth continuously create great players and are able to fund their teams due to greater economy.
So can you tell me about the point from which the Rugby Association and the Football Association were created and like beyond that?
Yes, in 1863 there was a meeting held that established rules of the game, and the two groups disagreed on rules that were created. The two groups became known as the Rugby Association and the Football Association. In 1885, professionalism was legalized in the association. After the Football Association was made, 14 countries made their own association until FIFA united them all in 1904.
Good afternoon, Professor Varma. I'm Dr. Richter. Could you tell me about some facts of the World Cup?
Yes, the World Cup began in 1930 after the establishment of FIFA headquarters in Zurich, Switzerland. Here are the World Cup results from 1930 to now. Now here are the Women's World Cup results. Here's an interesting fact. The U.S. women's team has won the World Cup twice, while the U.S. men's team has never made it to the World Cup at all.
So, how did the World Cup affect Spain's economy?
Well, after the Spain World Cup, Spain had a huge uprising in the amount of money they were making, and there was huge hope that Spain's economy would grow every fiscal year. And the ABN AMRO Bank envy economist Heinz Schatzman estimated that Spain's victory would add 25 to 50% to annual economic growth.
Professor Cannabis, can you tell me about some ways soccer affects the economy?
Well, soccer highly influenced the economy, and one of the biggest things, they had an equation for it, and that equation would be S equals F times A times K times L. For the equation, A is the total factor of productivity, K is the capital, and L is the labor. And soccer success would be like F, which is political regime, history, the taste, soccer institutions, and which is times K times L. And so about 20 million vuvuzelas were sold during the 2010 World Cup, and it was one of the biggest selling, it's a huge symbol of soccer. It was all over the internet, it was everywhere. And Spain's economy rapidly increased during the sale of these horns.
Good evening, Mr. Chow. I'm Dr. Rick Dolphin. What are some interesting facts you can tell me about FIFA?
Well, the first non-European country, South Africa, joined FIFA. And soccer currently has 204 countries in this association. FIFA has 6 confederations as well. CONMEBOL was the first of the 6 confederations. In 1993, FIFA started to grade players on annual performance.
Mr. Chow, can you tell me anything about the FIFA headquarters?
Well, the FIFA headquarters were established in Geneva, Switzerland, and created by Denmark, France, Spain, Belgium, Switzerland, and the Netherlands in the 30s. FIFA estimates that about 240 million people play soccer regularly across 200 countries. This is why soccer is the world's most popular sport.
It may not mean nothing to y'all, but understand nothing was done.
Oh, soccer. You gotta love the sport. The smell of it, the feel of it. The excitement as the ball flies through that goal. Makes me proud to know that I was Hi. Oh, it's my son. Hello, son. What's that? 6 goals? A couple dozen assists? MVP. Loving it. Alright, I'll talk to you too. Bye-bye, Sonny. Ah, my son. Pride and joy. Just turned 2. Reminds me of some of the great players, such as the Kaiser, Beckenbauer, who created the position of the sweeper and had superior skill. Garrincha is considered the world's greatest dribbler. Alfred Di Stefano is considered to be the world's greatest player ever.
Hello, Dr. Richtofen. I am Professor Cannabis. Who is your favorite soccer player?
My favorite soccer player is Kyle Rote Jr. He is a U.S. native, and he started out playing for the Dallas Tornadoes. With the Dallas Tornadoes, he won Rookie of the Year as well as the crown for scoring the most goals. Actually, he started as a football player in high school, but on his off-season he played soccer, and when he went to a college, he found he loved soccer more, so he switched to soccer. Hello again, Professor Volhop. Who is your favorite player?
I would have to say Stanley Matthews, who played for Stoke City when he was 17 years old. He then played for Blackpool. He also continued to play soccer until age 50. Stanley was named Sir Stanley Matthews by Queen Elizabeth II.
Hello, Professor Cannabis. Who is your favorite soccer player?
My favorite soccer player would be Pele. Pele is one of the greatest soccer players of all time. His real name is Edson Arantes do Nascimentos. Pele played for Santos when he was 15 years old. He has played 12,553 games and has scored about 12,020 goals. Pele is the only person that has played in 3 World Cups and the first to reach 1,000 goals. Pele popularized the sport for the U.S.
Mr. Chow, who is your favorite soccer player?
Well, I'd have to say that my favorite soccer player of all time is Mia Hamm. Mia Hamm was born on March 17, 1972. She's considered one of the best female soccer players, and her 100 goals just proves that. She considers her greatest moment to be when her U.S. national team received the gold medal after their final game in the Olympics.